Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome to WatchYouWant.com. Thanks for logging in. Today we're going to talk about the Doxa Sub 800 tie. As you can see, the 800 tie is a hardcore diving watch. This watch is water resistant down to 800 meters, and that's over 2,600 feet, so you're set. But this watch is really about diving in the shallower depths, where visible light permits visibility on high visibility colors like the signature Doxa orange dial. Now, Doxa was the first watchmaker to introduce bright colored dials with their original orange dial of the 60s. And today they've added one more wrinkle, because in the Sub 800 tie they've added tritium tracer technology. So you see these little white dots on the hands and the indexes. They're designed specifically to hold tritium gas. They're little glass capsules that hold this luminescent material that's self-sustaining. So if you do go down to depth and you're pulling this watch out at night, it's been in a dive chest, it hasn't been exposed to light, whereas a super luminova coated watch, which is most of them these days, would need to be energized first. But Doxa can sit in a pitch black box for a year. You pull it out, it's still glowing brilliantly. And that's the great thing about tritium as a self-sustaining lume. Doxa still uses it, and there really is no replacement if you must have a watch that is always ready to dive. Now, the nice thing about Doxa too is that they don't hide the fact that this is a hardcore tool. You can see the knurling on this bezel. This is impressive, and this case is milled from a single billet of titanium. Now, it's got a kind of industrial chic to it. It's a beautiful satin, kind of matte titanium, grayish blue color, but the purpose is security. And in that vein, you can see that these are screwed lugs. Each side of this bracelet is held in by a screw. No spring pins here. Doxa wants a watch that you can bang against a reef or the bottom of a boat and still expect to stay on your wrist. So they've really included quite a few concessions to the rigors of the marine environment, and above all, they want you to be safe. Again, in that vein, you see the concentric circles of this unique bezel. Now, the sub bezel, that's what this is called in Doxa speak, features two calibrations. The outer one is in feet, yes, feet, not metric, and the inner one is in minutes. So what you do to use this is you can still use it to time short intervals as you would with a normal unidirectional rotating diver's bezel, but this one's unique because it's calibrated with the US Navy's no decompression diving depth scale. So what that means is if you look down here, for instance, at 90 feet, you can see right underneath that it says 30. That means at 90 feet you want to start your ascent at 30 minutes, no later, to avoid the bends or avoid requiring decompression to avoid the bends. So what you do is you turn the bezel so that the index, the double dot index right here, is aligned with the hands, and now you can time it out through this arc to 30 minutes. Once you reach 90 feet, you start the timing, and that should hopefully keep you safe. Now, there's more to this watch than the bezel and the case. There's the bracelet, and the bracelet is kind of essential because this is one of the sturdiest and most handsome dive watch bracelets I've ever seen. Alternately polished and brushed. It's a gorgeous thing to look at, and it feels beautiful on the skin. Very smooth, very slick. I've worn it on my wrist. It will not grab arm hair. So it's a very highly considered design, and it's got this beautiful twin trigger release so that it can't accidentally spring open if you accidentally whack yourself on the ocean bottom. Either a reef, a rock, you see a moray eel and you yank away from it. This has got you covered, and the thought process continues with this dive extension. This is very slick, eats the Rolex Glide Lock for breakfast, and it's activated by a little slider right here. You push back in, push the slider back into position. Now it's very secure. So there's a lot of thought going into this bracelet, and that's what Doxa does best. They take an ETA movement, a 2824, that's as darn close to bulletproof as you'll get in modern watchmaking, and they package it in a little Brinks truck of a case with a gorgeous bracelet. And they add a lot of value because in addition to a fundamentally solid, hardcore diving tool watch, I mean, just listen to that bezel. They give you added value. This is a Bergeon watchmaker screwdriver that can be used on all of these individual screwed links on the bracelet, on both sides no less, to adjust the size. If your wrist size ever changes, if someone else is going to wear the watch, you can easily do this without resorting to a jeweler. So that's a great little piece of added value, but possibly the most exciting accessory that's included in this watch is an original Doxa warranty. This watch was retailed through an authorized Doxa dealer in 2013, and as a result, it retains factory warranty through 2015. Now, what you're getting is a full set of factory accessories and a nearly new Doxa Sub 800 tie. This is a fantastic value. It's one of the toughest dive watches on the market. If you're really going under, there are not many watches that will hold you in greater stead, that will serve you more faithfully or more reliably than this Doxa Sub 800 Ti. It has so many useful features. It has so many thoughtful inclusions specifically for divers that personally I wouldn't consider anything else. And in the modern era, when watches like the Submariner and the Omega Seamaster have really acquired more of a fashion bent, Doxa and its subs are still 100% focused on the old school ethic of the tool watch for a specific purpose. And this one's available on watchyouwant.com.